Hi and welcome. In this particular episode, I'm going to be repairing the front guard of my Moto Guzzi Le Mans 1000. Now, mine's a 1991 model, commonly referred to as a Mark V, and it has this very big and chunky and heavy fiberglass front guard. This mounts onto the fork legs. There's two mounts on either side, two on this side, two on this side, and you can sort of see that the gel coat's worn through where it mounts onto the fork leg. It actually mounts on using a spacer. There's 4 spacers which you have to put in there, and the bolt goes through on the inside. Now, one of these mounts, the spacer is actually worn right through the fiberglass, so the hole is now much bigger than it should be, and it has cracked from the pressure of the bolt being done up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand down the inside here and lay up some new fiberglass on that, and then re-drill the hole. There's a couple of ways you can do this. I'm not a real expert at fiberglassing, I will admit. I've done it a few times in the past for little repairs, but I usually manage to get the job done in some semblance of sensibility, you might say. This particular kit is a traditional fiberglass repair kit, and I've had this for a few years, though this particular one is still on the market. It comes with a container of resin, a mixing container, and a little bottle of catalyst, plus some fiberglass cloth. The other option is to use one of these new, or fairly new, surfboard repair kits, and I thought I'd give this a try. This is actually a UV set fiberglass resin in here, so you've got plenty of time to work the resin. It's not going to go off while you're working. It comes with a tube of the UV sensitive resin. There's about 60 mils in there, plus some fiberglass cloth, some sandpaper, and some applicators. So I thought I'd give this a try and see how it works, since I've never used it before. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing I need to do is sand all this down. Now I've put a bit of plastic film behind there, and I've held it down with a bit of gaffer tape. And now we'll give this a try and see what we end up with. Smear some in there to start with. Now I've got a little bit of fiberglass cloth to put in the hole. Now I'll wrap this around it. Might just trim that little bit of excess off there. Okay, I'll let this cure and then we'll have another go. So I'm just going to take it out into the sun. Okay, I've let that cure. Actually, I let it cure for about 20 minutes because, you know, it's an overcast day out there, so I thought I'd give it a bit of extra time. And it seems pretty good. It's not fully hardened yet, but it's not tacky anymore. So I'm going to put another layer on and put another bit of reinforcing cloth. Now I've just made up this little jig to hold the mudguard while I re-drill the hole. I've measured everything up and hopefully this will all go to plan. It's a bit of an awkward angle in here, so I'm just going to take it fairly slow. The holes aren't that critical. Now I drilled the hole a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to shape it and put it in exactly the right place with this drill. It looks perfect. I'm really pleased with how that came out. That's come up really quite nicely for an amateur job. Now the UV set resin certainly seems to be quite a good product. I don't know about the strength of it. I guess time will tell whether it is as strong as a traditional fiberglass resin, but certainly it's very easy to work with. It goes on easily. It doesn't seem to stick to everything the way a traditional fiberglass resin does, and it certainly sets fairly quickly, though I first tried setting it yesterday and it was an overcast day and it took a bit longer, but today it's quite sunny outside, and the third layer I put on actually set in the 5 to 10 minutes that they said that it would. So all in all, you know, it seems to be quite a good product. Now I've got one other fiberglass repair to do on the bike. One of the fairing pieces at the mounting points has has worn quite badly, and I need to reinforce that. Now I really do need to repaint the whole bike at some stage. It looks like it's been repainted by one of the previous owners at home. There's a couple of runs on the paintwork, and there's a repair on the tank. There was obviously a dent on the tank at some stage when the bike went down the road. There's been filled with a filler, and the filler has started to release from the metal, and it sort of bubbled a little bit. But I'm not really going to do a full restoration on this bike. This really is sort of a riding bike rather than a Concours perfect motorcycle. And that's the way I like it. You know, it's a bike that you can just get on and ride and enjoy, and you don't have to worry about getting cosmetic knocks and chips on it. Next up, I'll refit this, and once the lockdown is over, I'll be able to take the bike for a ride. So I'll catch you next time.